What's up, guys?
You can start your day with music. Just say, wake me up to Irish folk at 7 a.m.
Turn this down a little bit. What's up, Javier Rodriguez? Oh, we got what's up, guys? Thought I'd jump in real quick and do a rapid fire question little session. If you guys have any questions about health or fitness or wellness or mindset, what's up? Thought I'd answer some questions for you, or just cover some topics of discussion that's typical within the health and wellness community of the world. This is a Warrior Monk shirt. I had this online on my if you go up in my link tree, it's in there if you want to check it out. What's up, Jared? Got a question? Got a little light thing. All right. Any questions? If you have any questions about health and wellness, this is a rapid, what we consider a health and a rapid fire question section. What we're trying to do here is help people understand what a health coach can do for you. A health coach's job is to help you unwrap your future. Like a therapist's job is to help you unwrap your past, but a health coach's job is to help you unwrap your future. So it could be in a lot of different realms. So, what if you have hypertension? What if you have high blood pressure? What if you have a stuck point as far as finances? What if you have a 5K to train for? What if you have diabetes? What if you have a chronic disease you need help with as far as with nutrition and how to manage your life? What if you have a lot of different things? That's what a health coach does. We're here to help you create a foundation of health in your life so you can have a better quality of life going forward. So this is kind of what we do. So if you have, I'm a health coach on a CrossFit facility called CrossFit Roadhouse, and an online wellness coaching, health coaching business called Should It Be Clean here in Alabama. We provide services for people all over the nation. So if you guys have any questions, good morning, A Cappy. Thanks for joining in. If you guys have any questions, this is a rapid fire question Q&A session we're going to do real quick. You got about 30 minutes here. Anything you want to know about health and wellness, I'll answer any questions. Anything that you want to know. We'll also kind of go over some topics, maybe points of emphasis that are kind of important for people where people have troubles, like maybe high glycemic carbohydrates. Maybe talk about those. But if you have a question, I know it's early in the morning, you may not have had your coffee yet. This is a person I call Murder Face. I like to put my Black Rifle coffee in my Murder Face coffee cup and pretend I'm tough. I haven't had my coffee yet. I only give myself 1 cup of coffee a day, and it's at noon, so I'm not there yet. So you guys have any questions toward health and wellness? Any questions you may have, like do you know how to initiate a wellness platform for yourself? What if you want to lose 5 pounds? What if you want to, some questions to answer. What if your feet hurt after a walk? What if your shins hurt after a walk? What if your shoulders hurt after a bench press? What if, your low back is tight? What if your knees hurt after running? All those type of questions we can handle. One a day ought to. So that's smart, ACAP. There's, coffee has its place in this world, but people can also take it to an extreme like anything else. So moderation in all things is the key. So you want to try to practice within moderation. So 1 cup of coffee, and I think I've got Death Wish Black Rifle coffee brand, and I don't know that maybe they tweaked the the caffeine and roast it a little bit longer. I think the longer the roast, the more the caffeine. That's where that goes within that. Water all day. So that's good. Good kind of segue. So how much water should we drink in a day? Does anybody know? I'm a big fan of 120 ounces a day. Most associations is going to say 80 to 120. So I stick with 120 ounces a day, or you can go, or have your body weight in ounces. So I have a goal personally of 120 a day. Anywhere between three-quarter of a gallon to a gallon of water a day is also efficient. And there are also some side effects to drinking too much water. It could happen if you find yourself cramping and things like that. That means you're drinking too much water. It means you're not holding on to water, so you're kind of on the cusp of being dehydrated. So a great opportunity to be able to fix that is drop maybe some Himalayan salt in your water every morning. So that's a great way to deliver some minerals to your body that you need. Himalayan salt is a very mineral-rich salt derivative. So it's a way to drop some minerals in your system. See here, what's a good subject? Within my program, we're going to be doing a virtual ruck this weekend. So if you are a fan of fitness, or if you want to participate in a fitness program that's going to help provide to a charity, incredible charity here in Alabama called the Link of Coleman, we're going to be doing a virtual 5K ruck on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And it can be done at any time, but I'm gonna pop it off at 10 a.m. here, so we have a start time here. It's only $5. All the proceeds go to the Link of Coleman. The Link of Coleman is a great organization. They are there to help people who are down on their luck, who are homeless, who are recovering drug addicts, who are returning from jail, or just having a tough time in life. Giving them a place to go to get food, get water, try to get some type of substance, maybe get an ID card, get them a bank account set up, and then once we get that kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, then that organization takes over and then continue in the process. So it's only $5. If you don't have the capacity, physical capacity to go participate in a 5K ruck, you just do a mile ruck. Or if you just want to donate $5 and buy a ticket for someone else, you're more than welcome to. All you have to do is go to Should It Be Clean Facebook page, and it's going to have an event there called the 5K ruck. Click on that, click on the ticket, purchase, you're done. We would appreciate your participation if you want to participate. And if you do it, click on going, the event for Should It Be Clean. And participate in the event. It's actually going to be timed, so we're going to have, it's an event, so there's going to be a first and second and third place. So the weight prescribed for the 5K ruck is 30 pounds for male, 15 pounds for female, and you have to get a 5K ruck in a certain set amount of time. And where we're going to enforce it is, or as far as the time domains, is you have to be wearing a fitness watch and show that you completed the time or completed the distance in the time allotted. So we're not going to give a time allotted, but the fastest person wins. So that's the way that goes. Rucking is a great way for to kind of if you're in a rut, if you're a runner and you're in a rut, or if you're in a fitness rut in general, rucking is a great way to get started. If you think about rucking and what it is if you look at the military, it's one of the biggest hidden secrets of the fitness, within the fitness realm of the military. It's what we do to maintain fitness, especially long-term oxidative stress on the body. So if you think about, putting on 30 pounds and walking for 3 miles. So what is a ruck? Ruck is a weighted walk. So you're doing resistance training for walking. So you put a backpack, a comfortable backpack, or a weighted vest on your body. Here's mine. minus 30 pounds. I have a 5'11" tactical vest. Bam. And you just go for a walk. Now, if you want to kick it up a notch, you can go for a run. One thing that I've seen within rucking has a lot of different benefits, but it helps you maintain a fat burning zone. So your heart rate may stay in the 120s and 130s constantly throughout the entire walk. And that's incredibly good for you. It's great for your oxidative energy channels. So, and again, oxidative is where you burn fat. You want to maintain that constant push on that oxidative stress level to burn fat. A lot of people make a mistake. They try to get on the elliptical, and try to start running, and they're running to lose fat, and that's a glycolytic energy channel, and you don't really burn fat there. So you're actually burning carbohydrate and muscle in that little zone. Really kind of a common mistake a lot of people make. So and within our group, we're a big, should be clean. We're a health and wellness functional fitness type of functional fitness type of regiment. So what we're trying to do is help people transcend their current existence. And when they transcend their current existence, then their quality of life picks up. So transcending your current existence can go in a lot of different realms. So we're going to attack whatever stressors or whatever problem areas you have going on in your body. So if you have a problem area for, like if your BMI is high, if your body weight's high, if you have hypertension or high blood pressure, if you have high blood sugar, diabetes, or if you have, we have a few clients with lupus that need critical management within that. We have clients with anemia, which is a low iron count. We have clients that have anxiety. We have clients that have that are post-cancer. We have clients that are post-alcohol rehab. We have clients that are post all the above. Sometimes there's just some people just want to gain weight. If you're just, if you want to put on muscle, we have that ability too. So it's kind of our bread and butter too. Again, we're just doing a rapid fire question session. If you guys are wanting to jump in, more than welcome. If you have a question, so and just kind of jump back in there at ACAPI to finish up. So you just walk a distance. You pick a distance. You put the weight on your back and go for a distance. I would recommend, if you haven't done it before, and if you're kind of deconditioned, maybe try a mile with a backpack. That way you can kind of feel it out. That way you're not 3 miles out and you get a blister on your shoulder and on your heel. So what we recommend is good socks, good thick socks, probably wool if you have them, a good pair of shoes. Socks are going to go over the ankles. That's going to protect your feet from getting blisters. You also want a good backpack that's going to clasp in the top and on the bottom, or you can get a 5'11" weighted vest. That's more expensive, of course, but you can go to Walmart or any type of store to get the leader bags, which has a clasp on it. It's going to fit comfortably on your shoulders. It's not going to pull them apart or drop back or anything like that. It's going to sit up high and nice and tall. Hey, good job. Completed first hike this weekend with a backpack and a mile up a mountain. Which mountain was it? I'm going to be making a trip to the Grand Canyon and also to Utah, to Mount Zion in June. So I'm kind of training for that. We're also going to be making a rotation through Mount Major. I'll check that out, New Hampshire. Cool. Also going to be rotating through into Yellowstone for a week. So we're looking forward to that trip. Taking my parents on a it's my dad. I asked my dad a year ago what's one thing he wanted to do, and so he's retired now and has the ability to do it. He's dedicated his life to his family, so we're going to give him the gift to take him. And his answer was to go out west, so we're going to give him that gift. I'm going to drive him out there west. My mom's coming. We're going to pack him up in a car and have a little family trip. So a lot of you guys don't know me. My name is Brian McMillian. I go with the name of Warrior Monk on social media on some of my platforms because I really believe that you have to be a warrior in the garden in life, and you should always be ready for the unknown variable. It's a lot better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. So that goes into a lot of different mental toughness and discipline and being ready for things in life that's going to be coming at you, having a certain level of mental toughness and physical toughness and intestinal fortitude, and having knowledge toward surviving and thriving in tough times. So that's kind of the coda within a work monk, because it's a warrior monk, so it's not just me. You can be one too. So that's the way that works. I'm a nutritional therapist. I hold several certifications in several different physical fitness brands, to include CrossFit. I have like 6 certifications there. I have a few in ISSA and a few in a couple other. So what we've done here is taken the world of physical fitness and turned it into a wellness program. And my idea I kind of saw a lot of different problems in the world as far as people failing outside the gym. So I want to create a platform. I want to create a platform that help people manage their lives outside the gym, because that's where people fail. Of course, we could build the greatest program here, but if you're still eating, drinking beer and eating pizza every night, then you're not going to do well. So what we had to do is build up a program of accountability for that. So for us, we have a PhD, several master's level educators that are under me in our program. We provide that are fitness experts as well, that provide accountability and nutrition plans, strength and conditioning plans. Also, we can help you with problem areas that, say, if you need a plan for that you have hypertension or high blood pressure, which is high blood pressure, if you're obese, morbidly obese, or if you have, you're recovering from a surgery. So you kind of look at it as kind of like a rehabilitation program. Remember, a health coach's job is going to help you unwrap the future. So, you have the present, which is could be, that you have diabetes. You want to make your future better. So this is very common. Thanks for the feedback on that, ACAPI. So nutrition is hard, trying to eat enough. And this is very common for a lot of people. And you can be very obese and malnourished. And that's a tough concept for a lot of people to understand, but it's very common. A lot of people overeat in calories but do not have enough nutrient value in their diet to sustain themselves. And that's typically what creates disease. So they're eating a lot of food that have no nutrient value, that pulls nutrients from your body to digest but gives none back. And what our job is to empirically test that, and also empirically test the progression of that, so that you're getting better. We want to be able to have we want to be able to quantify the data to make sure that you are progressing in a way that is effective. So how am I going on without you? Man, this is last minute. You're more than welcome. I don't know how to make people jump in, but you want to jump in, you're more than welcome. I don't know if you have to send me a request. I've never done it before. I had a little bit of a hole in my schedule at 9 a.m. Trying to stay in macros is this game. It is, but let's talk about macros. So macros is super important. You want to. Some people may not know what macros is. So we got 3 different macros in our body. We've got protein that our body uses for energy and for repair and recovery. We've got protein, fat, and carbohydrate. Our body uses all 3 to grow the hair that we need, to perfuse oxygen, to grow hair, skin, grow muscles, make sure that we're healthy and those kind of things. So, what is a good macro prescription for you? Everybody's a little bit different. There's no cookie cutter method of nutrient programming. So we have to evaluate you personally to kind of to give you the correct micronutrient prescription and caloric prescription, and then also your TDEE. And if you don't know what TDEE is, it's an incredibly important function of understanding of the human body, of how many calories you're burning in a day. So a lot of people say that, or think that, okay, well, I'm eating 1,200 calories a day, and that's all I need. That's all I need to focus on, and that's kind of wrong. You need to know how many calories you're burning in a day, and having a constant eye on that is really important, because that can motivate you to get more exercise. That can motivate you to making sure that your metabolism is healthy. That can motivate you to make sure that you're not inactive. So it creates a lot of different hormonal changes when you put that kind of pressure on your body. Process called hormesis, which is a constant level of adaptation toward oxidative stress. A great analogy of that is of hormesis is, if you've ever seen the old Conan, and like the 1980s version with Arnold Schwarzenegger. In the beginning of the movie, he's pushing a wheel around. He gets stolen as a child. They throw him on this wheel with all these people, and he's pushing as a child with all these other people. And when the movie starts, he's grown up and he's big and huge, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, because he's the only one that's left pushing the wheel. The oxidative stress of pushing the wheel for 20 years in the aspect of the movie has caused him to be the biggest, the strongest, and toughest. So that's the analogy for that. And that happens to us all if we stick with things long enough. Our bodies are going to adapt to stress. And the more stress that you put on yourself in a good way, the more you can tolerate bad stress. That's an important aspect of kind of learning and being okay with, and learning how to integrate it into your life, because it works through all aspects of life. One of the bigger keys to this whole realm of fitness is not really fitness, but discipline your mindset. We work on mindset a lot, and how to really make yourself into a virtuous monster within our program. That's a virtuous monster kind of concept. This comes from Jordan Peterson, and what he says is, if you're harmless, you're not virtuous. You're just harmless. You're like a rabbit. A rabbit isn't virtuous. It can't do anything except get eaten. That's not virtuous. If you're a monster and you don't act monstrously, then you're virtuous. So what that is you have to be able to channel your shadow self and control it. Know that it's there and control it. And so how we do that is through lots of different physical exercise, becoming obstacle resilient, knowing that nothing that gets in your way is going to stop you. There's a Stoic philosophy in saying that what's in the way becomes the way. So, that's kind of what we do as health coaches. This is the thing that's in your way, whatever it may be diabetes. This is the thing that's in your way. That's going to become the way. This is what we're going to do. We're going to hyper focus on this one thing and defeat it so that you can move on. You're going to learn a lot of lessons along the way. And you're going to get better. So this is the way. That's right, buddy. So the way that kind of works is there's this kind of old story in the world, and it happens a lot, and it gets told a lot of different ways. But here's the framework. Framework is there's a hero, and then there's a call to action. The call to action may be that you need to go slay a dragon, right? Or you need to go beat a bad guy. Or like in Rocky, he had to go beat the Russian boxer, right? So you know that you have to go fight the boxer. You have to go fight the dragon. Go fight the dragon in the rim. So you have to go find a wizard, right? You find the wizard, which is like Rocky's boxing coach, or something to the matter of that. The wizard is going to help train you and get you ready for your battle against the dragon. And what is really important here is not the battle with the dragon. Winning is important, but in life it's the work. It's the work that you do from the wizard to the dragon that has the most amount of growth in your life. It's where you learn the most amount of lessons. Then you get to the dragon, and if you win, then hopefully you do. If not, you start back over and you learn some more lessons. And the story you tell yourself because of that is incredibly important. So being an open mindset about learning and learning new things and working through the process of a failure is very humbling, and it helps you learn how to become better at things. And then you finally you beat the dragon and you go back home as a hero, right? And you're back in the beginning. So this happens a lot. If you kind of look at your life and what can you do. So if you had a particular illness, or like maybe you're post-COVID and you're just sick, you can hire a health coach, someone. Or if you had a goal of maybe doing an obstacle course race this summer, if you want to run a 5K, if you want to put 5 inches on your legs, or if you want a 500-pound deadlift, or if you want to simply lose 15 pounds, that is the dragon. And what we want to do is kind of look at the concept of the dragon as something that's that you want to slay when it's at its smallest form. So you want to go after it as soon as possible, before it goes after you and your village. So if you're trying to attempt to slay the dragon, you want to hire a good team of people that's going to teach you how to defeat it. So this is the way. You have to look at that thing as a means of getting better, that you're going to go defeat it. You don't want to like pretend like it's not there, and pretend like you're not paying attention to it, or not pay attention to it so it grows and gets bigger. So something to kind of think about. That's what a health coach job is to help you get past obstacles or some type of challenge, or if you have a goal in your life, you don't know how to go after it. We have a team of a PhD, several master's level educators, and me to help get you to your goals. So let's go. If anybody has any questions, let's go rapid fire. Throw any question at me. Any question that you may have within, like, should you take creatine? What's a good resting heart rate? How many hours of sleep should I be getting? All those type of questions, just fire away. So this is very common. So I'm working. So ACAPI1 says, I'm working on slaying that dragon. The biggest obstacle was me. So this is pretty common. The fact that you're conscious of that, you're self-sabotaging is really important. So self-sabotage is a concept of saying that you want something verbally and then doing everything you can to make sure that you never get it. And believe it or not, this happens with a lot of people, and it's wrapped up in self-worth. That you don't feel like you deserve this thing that you want so bad. But guess what? You do. You deserve it. So if you're getting in your own way a lot, a good way to get past that is to hire a coach. It's going to help hold you accountable. If you are failing a lot and you are in your own way, hiring a coach to hold you accountable to the things that you're doing, the behavioral problems that you have, because it's all behavioral, to focus on those behavioral issues to help you defeat those dragons. So if you have, Cappy, if you want to jump in and kind of show or talk about what particular goal you're looking for or what you're trying to accomplish, maybe we can come up with some scenarios. We got some people in here, some talent. Maybe we can come up with an idea. I know me personally, just give you a little bit of a background on me. 2016, my daughter died, and I was still a fitness expert back then, and thought I was pretty healthy post her death, and it turned out I wasn't. And I had a lot of significant health issues that came up due to stress after that, and it's all related to improper sleep and rest, and not taking care of myself, because I thought I can soldier my way through it, and that was indeed wrong. So I was volunteered to go and take a group of disabled veterans through an obstacle course race, a 24-hour one in Iceland, and I was very pleased to be able to participate in that. So even though I was probably not in the best mental space, I wanted to go because I knew it was going to be the thing that's going to help. Hopefully, I was going to fail there, or I was either going to die on the mountain or 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 do well. And I went, and my body gave out about 18 hours in. I had to get an IV and got a full body cramp. Could barely walk. So I remember being on top of that mountain thinking I've really got to unfuck my life. I've got to get out of all these bad habits that I picked up and these things that I do to distract myself and come to terms with my daughter's death and really build a program around that to um, begin anew and have a new normalcy in my life. So over that next year of 2017-18, I built a program to build up my endurance fitness. I was a great glycolytic and PCR athlete. That means I can move large weights over long distances quickly. I can do a lot of things really quick, really heavy. But for oxidative stress, which is endurance, I didn't really have a lot of strength there. So I worked into that aspect of it and became better. And I went back and did great the next year. And we kicked that course's ass. And I helped a guy that didn't have any legs. You're talking about incredible transverse a mountain, and the guy made it 21 miles. So in a 24-hour period with no legs. So let me just tell you, and his big joke was Casey McAllister is his name. His big joke was that if you think this is tough, just think about getting 5 kids ready for breakfast every morning for school. So he was just the nicest guy. If you ever get a chance to check out his story, check him out. But so I did that, and I built a program around it, and a program of accountability and activity. And I knew that people need a little bit of a management program outside their lives, so this is what I built. So she asked how many days a week to work out is good. First, I would really say let's build up an idea of what your goals are, and then we can kind of build around how many days a week is good. So like if your goal is to gain muscle mass, you probably want to live 3 to 4 days a week. If your goal is for weight loss, you could probably go 5, because you're trying to you're going to be able to do a little bit more oxidative, which is cardiovascular based training. But always listen to your body. Your recovery. If you're not recovering, if your motivation levels are low, or if your body's hurting a lot and those type of things, and you have to kind of, that's where a coach is going to kick in there for you. So there's some people within the fitness industry that say never weekend, and hard work pays off, and all that stuff is true, but you got to have a good management system within it. You don't want to do the hardest thing every day, like chopping down trees for 12 hours a day, eating lettuce, because that's bad for you, right? So you want to have a good plan, and plan is the way. So I can jump in for about 10 minutes. I've got a class coming at 10, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if I can invite you in. Yeah, man, I don't know how to get you in here as far as this second screen thing goes. I probably need to watch the video on that. Doing a training 3 and Pilates 1 day, so that's good. And what you want to do is monitor your progress. If you're doing well, then don't change it. ACAPI. Now, so I would ACAPI is a great opportunity to. Here we go. What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
Doing great, man. How you doing? Thanks for jumping in. We've been flirting about doing a joint live here for a
Well,
while. I've got to answer a question
yeah,
here, Ann. So, Ann,
please.
um, She said, so weight loss, so she had, so at a long term oxidative stress state, so like cardiovascular, so a great opportunity for you to add another day is going for a long run, like what we were talking about earlier. Try to hit a 3 mile run or a 3 mile walk, try to hit 10,000 steps a day. That's going to help keep your metabolism going, keep your liver healthy, burning the fat that you need to burn because, fat burning is like whittling on a stick. You're not going to get big chunks. You got to take off little chips every day. The last thing your body wants to do is lose fat. It's going to lose all the muscle first. So you have to do that in slow, steady doses of fat loss. And the way to do that is through low to moderate levels of activity. So, I'm a big fan of 10,000 steps a day. That's what I do. I usually get in 5 to 7 miles a day walking. And it may be through my
Wow.
coaching, and it may be through, I may go grab a vest and go for a walk. But, I know that through and getting a smartwatch and tracking your activities are super important. So, yeah, we're walking all the time, man. I'm looking up to have a few friends that come up here and we go for a walk and talk, and it's a great opportunity. So if you want to get to some fellowship with your friends and go for a walk, it's the greatest thing that you can do for yourself. If you build up a community around that, walking and talking. So speaking of that, voice of reason. What's I forget your name. Tell me your name again.
It's Luke,
Luke. That's
Luke-E,
right.
like
That's
Luke
right.
Skywalker.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, I has good, man. I hesitated even jumping on because you were spitting such, profound information. I didn't want to get on and muddy the waters, but
It's okay.
um I I figured like so we haven't talked about my health journey, but that's one of when we first connected. If you remember what
Yeah.
got me is we were looking at a Jordan Peterson. We were both on a Jordan Peterson video, and you had written this. You'd written, "I this is the way." And I mean that when the Mandalorian said this is the way, like that to me, that's like a motto for your life. And it was a Jordan Peterson thing. So we both clicked on that level.
Right.
And then for you to be a health guy, I know we're similar ages. I've had unbelievable health issues and all digestive initially, stress, all the stuff you were just talking about.
Right.
And I'm definitely doing a lot better. But yeah, like if I were anywhere near you, I'm up in northern Maine, so I can't come see you.
Mm.
But the things that you were talking about as far as physically, the three components, the fats, the carbohydrates, that part of it, I need to get all of that worked out. Is there any way you can do this remotely? Is there any
Yeah.
like
So that's
testing
the
we can do?
that's the basis of design of the shouldhaveeatclean.com. It's a virtual personal training concept, so we can coach you from wherever, and we manage you through your smartwatches. We have a program and an app.
Okay.
We have a program and app. We communicate with you every day. So we're going to give you a number to focus on, whatever that number may be. We're going to diagnose whatever's going on with you, and then give you things to do to be able to help those things get better. So I remember you had a GI
Awesome.
issue, correct?
Yeah, dude. So my story, and this is like when we do more of these. My situation started with severe leaky gut that I was unaware of.
Right.
This is before Gundry really came out with that idea, and
Mm.
I don't know if anybody knew really 6 years ago, or if a lot of people knew how serious it was. But I was
Right.
having these episodes where I felt good. I was, 38 years old. I didn't think anything had really changed. Like it's like one day your whole body, just the physiology changes, and I didn't know what had happened. But I'd have these episodes where I'd get a fever of like 104, and I'd
Right.
urinate blood
Right.
for like 2 or 3 days, and nobody knew what it was. The
Right.
doctors thought I always had kidney stones, infected kidney stones.
Mm.
They thought I was having kidney failure, but they didn't understand the fever. And what it ended up being, and I only found this out through a functional medicine doctor and doing the labs and stuff, is leaky gut that was so bad that all the food particles were in my bloodstream.
Right.
My immune system was attacking them.
Right.
The gluten in particular was really hard to get through my kidneys because it didn't go through the correct process. It was actually in my bloodstream.
Mm.
And when the gluten would go through my kidneys, it was almost like a kidney stone, but it wouldn't show up on like a CT scan or anything.
Right.
And so the reason I had a fever is I was septic. My body was like, that whatever this is, it's taking me over.
Right.
Like we're dying. We got to fix this. And it was food.
Right.
So
Do you mind? Do you
that was
mind?
the start of
Do
it.
you mind if I tell
Go
them
ahead.
what leaky gut is and what goes on with that?
Oh no, please do.
So
Yeah, yeah,
leaky
yeah.
gut. So leaky gut is a problem that people have with foods that are not indigenous to our diet. So, what causes leaky gut are things within like wheat, gluten. There's some nightshades like tomatoes, peppers, things like that. And what happens in on a cellular level, your body allows particles of the food into your bloodstream through your gut.
Yep.
So that's kind of what happens within it because we're not. There's some foods that we. It's kind of like I like to use the analogy of like putting diesel in an unleaded gasoline. So it's going to burn a little
Yep.
bit, but it's not going to do great. So that's what happens when that aspect of leaky gut. It's yeah, we can burn it and we get a little bit out of it, but it's causing all kinds of problems all over the body. So
Yep. And
so
like the gluten in particular, like it's not that wheat is bad for us, it's that the wheat that we're eating is this like hybridized, super potent strain of wheat that, yes, it's all genetically modified means is that the humans have interacted with the genome. In this particular case, it doesn't mean that, there's like glyphosate in there or anything like that. But what it means is that through years and years and years of breeding, they've actually created a super wheat basically. And
right.
then the protein that makes up the wheat
Mm,
is so much stronger. So like what you're saying, it's people that are having celiac and Crohn's and all these things at a higher level than they had before. It's maybe not even that their physiology has changed, it's that the wheat has changed
right.
and we can't process it.
It's not indigenous. That's an easy way to explain it.
Exactly.
People don't, the indigenous side of it. So like it's a new food that's been introduced to us. So even if it's genetically modified, it's not indigenous to us. So
Exactly.
there's complications to it. So I'm a big fan
And then
of following a model of nutrition that is close to your genetic makeup as possible. And a lot of the people call that paleo or paleo.
yeah,
So I'm a
paleo.
big
Yep.
fan of one ingredient foods that consist of meats, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and fruit. Because guess what? 100 years ago there was meats, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and fruit. 500 years ago there was meats, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and fruit. A thousand
Yep.
years ago there was meats, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and fruit. So our ancestors were very successful within a model. They did not have Doritos.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. That's not
So
even food. We know that.
yeah. So they didn't have Cocoa Pebbles. So all those things that are new, they're introduced to us and given to us in large amounts of quantity that are kind of manufactured or they have a side effect. So
Well, and that's like if you spent your whole like your family's bloodline, everybody up here it's potatoes, your family's going to be able to process that, you're going to be able to process that. If we were to have like pineapple or something coming from somewhere else that we didn't have, our body might, not love it, whatever. But what we're dealing with when you talk about Doritos is like aborted fetal cells,
yeah,
tissue, all red dye number 5 or whatever, like a bunch of stuff that we're not supposed to be ingesting. So there's multiple parts. And then with my leaky gut, it wasn't just food that I wasn't indigenous to. It ended up being that basically everything I was eating when it was really bad
mhm,
got into my bloodstream and my immune system tagged it.
right,
And I ended up with all the food sensitivities with all of those foods. Like it
right,
was ground beef, potatoes, cheese, everything. So there was a while there that I would eat something like a cheeseburger, even if it was gluten free, and I would have to take a nap afterwards because my
mhm,
whole immune system was on high alert. And so I've the PTSD thing. Sorry to hear about your daughter, man. That's
right,
brutal, and I know that obviously took a physical toll too. But I've had a bunch of tragedy as well, and like so. I guess that's what I would want if I were to be able to get you to be my coach. Is like how you get over the trauma, how you get your gut right. I've been working on gut bacteria and trying to restore that. Foods you can eat, stress management. I mean,
yeah.
it's a whole thing, right? It's the whole
So
collective.
you have to go back to baseline. So baseline for everything for everyone is activity, sleep, hydration, nutrition. Simplify it.
Yep.
So, and then we would ma- try to get we would try to test your behavioral components and see that you can be uh, accountable to those things. Some people can't; they have difficulty. So it's when we would step in even further to say, okay, then here's a program of daily activity and behavior modifications to test you on a daily basis. So sometimes it could be just a telephone conversation like what we're having now, and I would give you some aspects to be able to work on your life. And if you're not doing well with it, and you can jump into a program, we can do some a little bit higher levels of management to give you daily accountability to make sure that you're hitting the things you need to hit because most of the problem is that we all have distractions in our life, right? So the distraction could take us off our path. So, um, what can we do to make sure that we're uh, staying healthy and staying well within that aspect of all these distractions? So, I built 5 set points within my program for everybody to focus on a daily basis to help them stay grounded. So that's part of what we teach and part of what we hold people accountable to in our program. It's a set points of activity, of fit thinking, of nutrition, of sleep, and then also forward
Wow.
thinking, which is the 10K lifestyle program that we built up. So you got to have a sense of your future self
Wow.
too. You got to have a goal of something to aim at of where you're trying to go in life. So that will give you motivation to get to
Wow.
where you need to get. So that's
That's great.
the aspects of our program. So for you, I would ask you personally, like, have you had your liver enzymes checked? How's your liver health?
That's one thing I would really want to start with is blood work.
Yeah.
And, I've done some self-diagnosing with it. I checked my vitamin D levels at one point. When I saw my functional medicine doctor, he ran all my blood work, all my hormones, and everything was so far out of whack. He said basically I was like a menopausal woman with the way that my hormones were. My estrogen was up, my testosterone was down, like everything was way out of kilter. And he contributed that to severe leaky gut, meaning that I was malnourished and wasn't
Yeah.
absorbing nutrients.
Yeah.
And I know that's gotten better. At one point, I'm a smaller guy. I'm 5'7", 5'8", and I was around 160 when all this happened. I dropped down to like 129, and I couldn't put weight on. We all were kind of afraid for the worst.
Right.
But since my leaky gut has gotten better, I'm back up to about 155,
Yeah.
and I'm able to get something in. Like you said earlier, it might be empty calories. I don't know how my vitamins and minerals look, but I would want to run the whole gamut of thyroid production, all of that stuff, and
So
try and figure out physiologically what's going on.
part of what we do within our program is, and I got a question I got to answer too. But part of what we do
Please.
within our program is do a macronutrient deficiency assessment. So it is a written test to see what uh, vitamins you are deficient at. So we can bypass the blood work and come up with a simplistic test to put you in the ballpark of what you need to work on. So two things that you have to
Okay.
work on with your deficiencies is the type of foods that you need to eat, right? So like if you are vitamin B deficient, what type of foods you need to eat to solve the problem of your vitamin B deficiency, right? But also supplementation, what type of supplements do you need to take in the short term to make sure that you're taking care of all that kind of stuff, right? And then we would empirically
Okay.
test it and make sure that it's progressing the way it needs to progress. And I think this is a great segue to. So someone asked, my husband is on strong antibiotics right now. How can he get his gut back to normal after he's done? So there's two ways, and this is, I think, maybe part of the issue with Luke. So people take antibiotics and that destroys, it's like a nuclear bomb inside your gut. And we have these normal bacteria that's inside our gut. It's good bacteria that breaks down food. That
Well,
antibiotics will kill all the bacteria, the good bacteria, and leave a bad bacteria in there. So the only way to get that back is to transplant it. You have to introduce that bacteria back to the gut. So a way to do that,
FMT.
there's two ways. One way is through a diet of healthy greens, or there's three ways. Diet
Okay.
of healthy greens. So you have to eat
Yeah.
at least 500 grams of raw vegetables a day. That's going to help you
Okay.
get your gut biome back to a normal level. Second is to
Okay.
transplant it through yogurt. Yogurt is a great way
Yogurt.
to
Okay.
introduce good gut biome to your system. Three is to take a more expensive version, which is a supplementation of probiotics. And I recommend you taking at
Okay.
least a 3 billion culture uh, 3 billion culture
Yeah.
thing a day for most
Yeah.
people.
The CFUs. Yeah. There's actually a fourth. Let me tell you about. I shouldn't tell you about this, but I don't know if you have any experience. But it's called an FMT, fecal matter transplant. Have you heard of
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's dicey, but there's people that are like reversing MS and all these other like really long-term autoimmune issues because you end up when you've lost those gut bacteria, how do you replace them? Like you said, you can get them through vegetables. That makes a lot of sense, but there's other ways too. So I'm not saying you go off and do that, but there is, it's something that the mainstream won't talk about, because can you imagine if you were healing people with something that simple? They've even classified, I'm sorry for saying this is gross, but they've even classified feces as a whatever kind of drug that you can't sell. What's it called? Like
Yeah.
whatever. So like I'm not saying we do that, but there's like there's to me in the video that I'm going to post as soon as I get off of being banned is about the gut bacteria. It's so important to have good bacteria. And the diversification of humans' gut bacteria has gone so far down over the last 2,000 years, and it's processed foods, it's stress, it's all these kinds of things. But yeah, all the things you said, that's great. However you can do it, people really need to be focused on getting their gut bacteria right because it's so important.
So we had a question: Lakers versus Suns. Who you got? I'm an old Suns
Uh,
fan. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Suns, man. I don't even know who's on their team anymore. I quit watching basketball probably about 5 years ago. I used to be one of those guys that wake up every morning and watch Sports Center every day. But I've moved on to other aspects of my life now, so I kind of focus my life and my attention toward my product. And so I wake up every morning with
man.
with videos that's going to help me focus my attention, so I can have my attention. So intention is an important thing when you first wake up in the morning. Where I used to watch Sports Center, and that was my intention, and then that would get me focused on things that I didn't need to focus on. I wake up first thing in the morning. I watch a series of videos that I plan for my clients. I watch them myself because I have an idea that people don't have ideas. Ideas have people. So it's my job as your coach to give you the right kind of
Wow.
ideas first thing in the morning when you're in a theta state, so you can take that idea and then you'll see it more often during your day. So
It's interesting that you say attention, because like the word, like in Latin, whenever you put an a in front of a word, it means non. So
mm,
like the muse makes you think. Amusement is for you to not think. It's to actually make you stop thinking. And so with you saying intention versus attention, I wonder if the etymology is there, if that lines up with having to do with being passive and having it happen to you versus, you being involved. So I don't know particularly, but yeah, I used to love sports too. I was a fantasy football addict for years and years and years. And I
mm,
don't have it. I don't even have a TV, sports, anything. Cause like you said, you build your brand, you're trying to make yourself well, you're taking care of your family, you're doing whatever. I don't have time for sports. And it's
mm,
actually, I would have been really upset to hear that a few years ago, but I'm actually excited about it. You just, as you get older, your focus, changes. So
yeah. Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
I'm still a crazy Alabama fan though. So roll tide if there's any Alabama folks out there. My
That's
daughter went
awesome.
to school there. I went to school there, so it's a big tradition. Um, uh, so let's kind of flip back into, so liver enzymes and liver health is a big deal, and I would recommend to you, Luke, is probably trying to rotate through, and this is a great way to heal your gut, is through intermittent
Okay.
fasting. So
Yeah.
do some IF work and let your body, let your gut heal and let your liver heal, because what happens to a lot of us is, if you think about our ancestors, they didn't have cocoa pebbles in the fridge, milk in the fridge. They didn't have,
Of
creamer
course.
in the fridge, all this other stuff that we have. That's
Yep.
it's what I call a disease of affluence. So we're very affluent today,
Amen.
and we have food that's really really available that we don't need. We don't need all that stuff. It's
Oh,
all
absolutely.
creature comfort. So, and if you've never done intermittent fasting, what is intermittent fasting? It's a means of fasting on time demand. So I'm a big fan of 16 and 8. So you're gonna fast for 16 hours, eat in a window of 8.
Be free.
So, and it's great. It's a great
Perfect.
behavioral modification. So if you're the type of person that really can't discipline themselves with the nutrition, typically some people can discipline themselves if they know they can't eat between 10 p.m. and 2 p.m. So 10 p.m. 2 p.m. Then that means that you can only eat between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. So you're
Yeah.
fasting from 10 p.m. till 2 p.m. And what
Tense.
that does is it builds up a little bit of internal discipline, but it makes you
Yep.
resilient at breaking down your own fat skin. And I think that's part of the
Okay.
issue. So part of the issue within the human body is chronic inflammation, and processed foods create chronic inflammation, especially in the gut. And so we have to
Yeah.
take a break from that to let the gut heal. So that's part of the gut healing process. You have to let um, you have to let the chronic inflammation process go. So that comes out in like your liver enzymes could be high, your triglycerides could be high, those type of biomarkers in your blood that we have to get tested to kind of see how you're doing. Um, is super important to see where you're at so we can see how you're doing going on in the future. Because
Well,
if your body's not breaking it down effectively, it'll come out in like high glycemic type of functions, like your A1C will be high, and your
yep.
fasting glucose will be high. That means you're not breaking down glucose effectively. So it's better for you to
That's
naturally
You're
restart.
exactly right on with that. I mean, when I was like 27, I had a doctor, and he said your triglycerides are really high.
Mm,
And then when I started seeing, right when all this stuff started going on, my doctor tested my A1C and said I was pre-diabetic.
right.
So my A1C was pretty high. It was like 5.8 or 5.9 or something. So you're right on with those markers for sure.
Yeah. If I were you, what's your family background like? What's your ancestry?
So I am on my mom's side. She was Irish, Russian, and so Irish from her dad, Russian Jew from her mom. My dad was Hispanic almost entirely, so I'm half Hispanic, quarter Irish, quarter Russian Jew for the
So
most
if
part.
you look at the Scandinavian diet, which is what Irish, Scottish, Russian is, they had a diet consisting of fish and potatoes. So and
Okay.
vegetables. So I would go with that for now. But I would
Okay.
eliminate white potatoes. I would go with sweet potatoes. So I would go with fish,
Okay.
sweet potatoes primarily in your diet. Make that rotation, see how you do, and then
Uh,
stick with that for a while. Try to get that 500
so like
grams.
you're all over it. I mean, when I did my food sensitivity tests, those sweet potatoes and fish were exactly things that I didn't have issues with. White potatoes, red meat. I stopped eating red meat a long time ago, but my wife was making me a white fish and turnip like meal. And for example, how this was happening with my food sensitivities, one day she exchanged the turnips for white potatoes, and I didn't know it. And I was doing really well with the white fish and turnip meal. She gave me the white fish with potatoes. I was on the couch laying
Yeah,
down. She goes, "Oh, what's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. I'm having a reaction." And she goes, "I put white. I don't think it would matter. I
right,
put white potatoes in instead of turnips." And at that point, it was that significant that
right,
just that little bit of a change was
right.
knocked me on my butt. So,
Yeah. So
wow.
that's why you hire a coach. Someone that knows what they're doing. Because you think about all those mistakes you've made over a linear time domain of all this. If you would hire a coach, and this is not to demean you in any way, if you'd have hired a coach, you could have skipped
Yeah.
all that learning process.
Wow.
You know, but I'm about to start my
Absolutely.
10 a.m. class. But thanks for
Yeah.
jumping in. I hope that we answered all the
Yeah.
questions. Someone asked how much yogurt. So on the yogurt side of things, just get some in your body. Um, Homemade Greek yogurt is a way. I do agree with that. But if you don't have the ability to be able to make your own homemade Greek yogurt, then I would recommend you go and get some from the store. Get some probiotics, and then try to stay away from processed foods for a while. Go with paleo standard. Maybe try some IF. Drink plenty of water, and things were right for you. You'll start feeling better. Your brain will start functioning better. Your cognitive skill levels will be better. Your hormone levels will
Amen.
return. Your everything will start to square away. So thank you guys for
That's
joining in.
huge.
We'll hopefully be able to jump in another. And if you have guys have any questions, if you want to jump in, or if you want to have a discussion with me, all you got to do is go to shutupbeatclean.com and schedule an appointment. Put your name and the information there. We'll contact you in about appointment, or the website will actually ask you for an appointment at that point. So, but we'll also text message you to talk. So, thanks again for joining
All right,
in.
guys.
It's good finally
And
talking to you.
everybody, yeah, we'll do it again. We'll get into like some more of the philosophy of it. You were actually getting like specific to action items, but really fast. Everybody on my side, follow this guy, Warrior Monk. He's all over it. He's a critical thinker and he's helping people. And coach, man, that was great information. I appreciate it. We'll talk more. I'll reach out to you on message.
No problem, man. Thanks for joining in.
Thanks.
Bye.
Absolutely. Thanks.